Hello all, welcome to pythonvibes YouTube channel. Our next interview question is character frequency encoding. This comes under analyzing the text patterns type of program. So here we got some input like Mississippi and expected output is M1, I4, S4 and P2. And if we analyze this input, here M is existed for once and I is existed for 4 times and S is also same, but P is existed for twice. So that's the reason P2 is written in output. So in this video, I'll be explaining what are the ways to approach this problem, and after that we'll be discussing the time complexity, and then we'll be looking out how to optimize this code using either list comprehensions or dictionary comprehensions. So let's get into this video. So let me open this ideally for now. So here we'll be asking the user with the input. So whatever the input they will provide, that will take it. So imagine if the user is giving Mississippi, and we need to firstly we should know what is the frequency of each character. So like if we see M, as we seen in the output, M is existed for once, I is for 4 times, S for 4 times. So to know that, we need to have idea like how do we get this occurrence of each character, and if we get it, how do we store that and what data type to choose. So in this scenario, we can do one thing. We can store each character as a key and its respective occurrence as a value. So if this is the case, then we can go with dictionary, which holds key and value as a pair. So that we can utilize here, so that we'll be getting occurrence of each character. So for now, what I will be doing, I'll be taking one frequency dictionary that I'm let me write it a full name, frequency dictionary. Here I'm initializing it as an empty dictionary, and so using this for loop, I'm just calculating the this occurrence of each character. So I'll be looping over this input whatever we got, and each per character in input. And in this input, if the character is coming for the first time, so in this frequency dict, that character count should be 1. So this is when it is finding it for the first time. If it is already existed, then it has to increase this count by 1. So what I will be writing, if character is in frequency dictionary, then what it has to do, it has to increase this character frequency by 1. So that we will do it like this. If it is encoding for the first time, so we already know it has to hold the value as 1. So if we print the frequency dict, we can see each character and its respective occurrences. So if we run it, let me run this. I'm entering Mississippi. So I got M1, I4, S4 and P2. So only thing is left is I have to convert this key, and I have to concatenate this key and string, this integer into string. So for that reason, what I will be doing, I'll be taking result as a list. So I'm just writing for character comma count. So imagine we got this dictionary like this. So we have character and its count. So I'm looping over this dictionary to if you are looking for character and count, what are these? Nothing but key and values. So if we want key and value, we can get it using items method. So for character and count is in frequency dict.items. This method will give us character and its respective count. So if we get character and count, what do we need to do? We can append into this by combining it, but we know that this count is a string. So to concatenate with the character, we need to convert this into a string, then concatenate with the character, so that we'll have this key value pair as a normal string M1. It will get stored into result as a M1, I4, S4, P2, like that. So here we'll be having list of elements like M1 would be our first element, and I4 would be our second element, S4 would be our third element, and P2 would be our fourth element. So we got this kind of list. So if we want this list as a string, then we need to use the join method. So before printing that, I'm using join method to convert this list into a string. So I'm passing for this result join method a result iterator. So what do we get here? So we'll be combining M1, I4, S4 and P2. This would be our output. So now let me save this and run it. So I'll be giving Mississippi here. So we got M1, I4, S4 and P2 as our output. So this is what we were also expecting in the question. So this is what we also got it here. So now you might be having some doubt, like why did I take this result as a list? We can even directly take a string also, but we know what will happen for the time complexity for loop with this string concatenation. It would be R of n square. So what will happen? So this will increase the time complexity when we use the string concatenation inside this for loop. So why it will happen means it will actually each time whenever we concatenate each character with the existing one, it actually creates a new string and point out to new memory location. So that way it is also increasing the time complexity. So instead of that, if I would take result as a list and then later if I would join all the list elements to convert into a string, so that would be having time complexity of R of n only. So this is not going to show any difference when our input is a small data set, but whenever it comes as a large data set, then this will definitely make some difference. So here if we see, this would if we are writing this for loop, inside that we were doing appending these character and string count into this result. So it will take only time complexity of R of n, and the space complexity would also be the same. Both time and space complexity would have same R of n itself. So this would be the best approach to like to convert the dictionary elements into this dictionary this list of elements, and then from that list to a string we can join all the elements by using join method. So even this code can also be optimized. So let's start optimizing our code. So before optimizing this code, I have removed everything, and as I said, this can be written in the 2 lines itself. So I'm taking frequency dict equals to, we just have to write the dictionary comprehensions. So dict comprehensions, how do we write? Key colon value. So here our key would be character and value would be count of that character in that input string. So key colon value for character is in input. So this will gives us key for each character, and then its existence, whatever the number of times it is existed, so that would be assigned as a value. So the sample dictionary would look like this. So S would existed for 4 times and P has existed for twice. So this would be our frequency dict. If we print this frequency dict here, we'll get this, and we would be requiring the result. So to convert that earlier logic into this list comprehensions, what do we need to do? We have this character, and then beside this character we also requiring this value. So since this is an integer, while concatenating with the character, we need to convert that integer into a string object. So then character plus str of plus count, because this is what we were having it as a key in the above dictionary. So while appending into this list, char plus str of count for character and count are in this frequency dict dot items. So this is, in this way we'll be getting a sample list which contains these elements inside the M1, I4, S4, P2 would be our list elements. So if we have to convert this list of elements into string, we know that we just have to use the join method So let me use that join method, and I'm passing this entire list to this join method so that we'll have end result as a string. So if we print the result here, we'll get all these list of elements will get converted into list, string. So m1 i4 s4 p2 would be our output. So let me save this and check for the output. So I am giving Mississippi, since we already know the output, so I given it. So m1 i4 s4 p2, this is our output. So this is how we will optimize our code. Thank you guys, thanks for watching this video, and please do like and subscribe to this channel.